So today I'm talking about something a little bit different. This is not necessarily beauty related, but it is something that I think women can benefit from, and I know the vast majority of us who are on YouTube, whether we're watching or whether we're YouTubers in the beauty community, most of us are females, and even for males I think this is actually something that's beneficial. So I'm going to be talking about pepper spray. It's something that I carry with me at all times. It's usually on my keys, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but I use it as I carry it for self-defense protection. Okay, so the way pepper spray works is it actually causes constriction in the trachea, and so that causes coughing problems and breathing problems, and when you get into a panic, like that causes like even more breathing problems, and it can also affect the capillaries of the eyes, causing blurred vision, tearing. So what it does is it allows you time to escape an attacker when it's sprayed directly into their face. Now, the funny thing about pepper spray is that it doesn't actually work on every single person. There's about 10 to 15% of the population that isn't affected at all by pepper spray, so go figure. There's 10 to 15% of the population that you can spray directly in the face with pepper spray and it won't even affect them. But for most people it does affect them, and it's a law enforcement approved, non-lethal, most effective chemical agent that you can have on your person to ward off any attackers. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be attacked. I have never been attacked. I have never had to use my pepper spray, but I get asked about it all the time. Like whether I'm at work, if I'm at the grocery store. I was at Whole Foods the other day. The girl at the counter was like, "Oh, have you ever had to use that?" And I'm like, "No." I was at Target last week and someone was like, "Oh, is that pepper spray? Have you ever used it?" So I get asked about it all the time because it's on my keys, and my keys are visible, and so people ask me about it, especially women. So I figured it would be a really great video to do just to get a conversation going, because I want to see what you guys are thinking about it. Okay, so I'm going to show you my pepper spray, and then I'm going to tell you 5 tips for safety if you plan on using pepper spray or any self-defense tool. So here's my pepper spray right here. I got this online. I will put a link down below. I also got one for my mom because I just think it's really I don't know, it's pink, it's sleek, so I like it, but it also is on my keys so that I can have it accessible at all times. Like, it really doesn't do any good if it's at the bottom of my purse or in my glove compartment. So I wanted to make sure that I had it accessible, so here it is on my keys. Also, you can, oh, it's actually coming in done. But you can pop it open like this, and I can refill the canister if need be, and then just keep it on my keys. So I love that it comes with like a little keychain, and then you just pop it back on. It's harder than you think. So the top of it right here has like a little safety mechanism. So when it's off to the side, I can push down, and then when it goes in the middle, that's when you press and then the spray comes out. So that's just a little, this is the one that I use. There are a ton of pepper sprays available online. Again, I will link the link down below from where I got this one, but if you just Google search like pepper spray keychain or pepper spray lipstick or pepper spray whatever, pepper spray cell phone, there are so many different mediums that it comes in that you can actually choose what works best for you. But again, for me, the keys work the best, and then it has like a little grip here that I can hold on to. It also has a little belt thing, and I actually do use this when I'm walking my dog because I need my keys because I lock my door. So I take this and I just clip it onto my pants or my shorts or whatever I'm wearing when I'm walking my dog. So it's a really, really convenient little tool. So before you even get to using something like pepper spray or mace or any other self-defense tool, just the number one thing to remember is that awareness is your first line of defense. That always be aware of your surroundings. And I'm like a freak about being aware of my surroundings. Like, I'm always on orange alert, always. If I go into a hotel, if I'm staying at a hotel, I always count how many doors it takes for me to get to the exit, so that if there's a fire, I can like maneuver my way down the hallway so I know where the exit is. If I enter a room or a movie theater, especially like in a movie theater with what happened with the shooting in the movie theaters, like I'm always like, okay, like where are the exits? What do I do? Like, how can I maneuver myself to the nearest exit? I'm always thinking about those things. I don't know why. Nothing has ever happened to me in my life where I should be, it's not that I'm fearful. Like, I don't go in any place that I'm like afraid. I'm really just aware. Like, I want to make sure that I know where the exits are. I'm always like conscious of the people that are around me. If somebody's walking behind me, I step to the side. I want to make sure that they know that I see them. If I'm in an empty garage, like a parking garage or even a parking lot, even in a well-lit parking lot with people at night, I'm always looking around. When I get out of my car, I always have my pepper spray in my hand ready to be dispersed if need be. I don't know why this is the way that I am, but it is. A long time ago, I used to work at a camp, and it was a pretty open camp, and anybody could really just walk in, and we had thousands of kids there during the summer, and so we actually talked about, in a director's meeting, we talked about like what would we do if somebody just came and attacked all the kids, and part of that conversation was sort of what the military does. Like, people have had conversations with people in the military when they go into war, and it's like, what is your state of mind when you have to fight or when you have to shoot guns or whatever the case is. And a lot of people have said, like, oh, my training took over, like, I don't even remember, I just sort of, you know, it's sort of like you're not on autopilot, but it is in a sense, because it's just like your training is taking over. So I want to make sure that I'm constantly aware of my surroundings. And so if anything ever happened, God forbid, I'm so thankful that nothing has ever happened, but if anything does happen, that I am aware, and I'm not in a state of panic where I can't function, because that's probably my biggest fear, is being in a state of panic that I don't know what to do and that I can't function. So I try to always make sure that my stress levels are low and that I'm just aware of my surroundings. So awareness is really a big part. Secondly, if you're going to use something like a pepper spray or any self-defense tool, is you want to know how it works. You want to know, when I first got mine, for example, like the first thing I did is I opened it up, and then I went into the backyard, and then I immediately like started like looking at it, like figuring out how it worked, spraying it down. I didn't realize it took a lot of pressure to actually like push the button down to spray the mist that comes out. You want to know if it's a mist, if it's a cloud, if it's a stream. I just spit. Yeah, you want to know like what is coming out and how far out it goes, because even though the package says like, oh, it sprays up to 15 feet, like you want to know, I mean, am I going to risk, can I be 15 feet, you know, in front of my attacker, or do I need to get a little closer? You want to know like how this thing actually works. Is there back spray? Is some gonna fly into my face? And likely it will, but how much back spray? Do I need to move to the left? Do I need to move to the right? Take into account the wind factors and all those things. So you wanna actually know how it works. And this goes for anything. If you're using mace, if you're using a firearm, whatever the case is. You also wanna have it readily accessible. Again, it's not gonna do any good if it's like sitting in my glove compartment and I'm walking in a parking lot, you know? Or if I'm getting in my car and it's in my glove compartment, I have to reach over. Am I blurry? I hope not. Like, I have to reach over to go get it. Like, I want to make sure that it's on my person. And you can conceal carry, you can stick it in your pocket, you can stick it in your purse, but don't let it be at the bottom of your purse where if somebody, you know, comes and robs you for your purse, then you have to give them your purse and you're giving them your weapon. So, or you're giving them your tools. So I always like to have it, again, on my keys, just because it's really, really easy to carry. My keys are always gonna be with me. And when I get out of the car, I never fumble for my keys in my purse. You know, when I'm walking, I'm always, before I go out to my car, I wanna make sure that I have my keys in my hand. And then you wanna be very, very careful too, because sometimes your weapons can be used against you, even though it's a great tool to have. You know, somebody can like snatch it out of your hand and then clobber you over the side of the head. So you want to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings and having it accessible. Like, hold it tight, don't just let it dangle or whatever the case is. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the fourth thing, and I hope that this never, ever, 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 ever happens to anybody. Like, it is my prayer. Like, it is my prayer for you that this never happens, and my prayer for myself and my family and my friends, that I'm never in a position where I have to use self-defense tactics. But if you ever have to use it, something like this, then you want to make sure that you are ready for what's actually going to happen. And that means, again, going back to that back spray, like you are likely going to have some in your face. So if you get a little bit of mist in your face, you're likely going to start coughing too. Don't panic. You need to use that time to escape the assailant. So just make sure that you know, you're aware, like if something actually happens, like you're probably going to get this in your face or in your mouth or whatever the case is. And you don't want to fiddle around with it. Like, just spray it and go. Like, you would, like, what you want to do is you want to escape. You don't want to sit there and try to, you know, fight the attacker. I mean, granted, that's what I want to do, because I'm very passionate about things of that nature. But really, what you want to do is you want to be able to escape. So know what to expect if you're ever in that sort of situation. And then the fifth and final thing is just never, ever, ever, ever just completely depend on a tool, even if it's just mace or just pepper spray, or even if you have a firearm. I don't know what you guys believe about firearms or gun safety or whatever the case is, and I don't want to start a big debate about that, because in America, we do have the right to bear arms, and if you live in a state where you can carry a concealed weapon, then great, but just know how that works. I would definitely suggest taking classes. I know that my boyfriend is like, he wants me to carry a firearm, but to be honest with you, I'm just not 100% comfortable with it at this moment, because I've never, you know, shot a no, that's not true. I've shot a firearm, but not like, not enough for me to feel like, okay, I can carry this around and be comfortable, because it is a lethal weapon, you know what I mean? So if I was ever going to choose that route, then I would make sure that I was going to take the classes that I needed to take, consistently take the classes that I need to take, and make sure that I'm constantly aware of gun safety. Even with pepper spray, before I decided that this was going to be something that I wanted to have on my person, I made sure that I did the research I needed to do, looked up safety tips, watch seminars online on how to use this stuff. Like, if you are going to use anything, make sure that you know how it works, but don't rely on it. You really want to rely on just awareness, rely on your body, and rely on your wits. Like, make sure that you know like what's around you. Just because you have some sort of self-defense tool, even if it's a gun, like that doesn't mean I'm going to go walking in a dark alley and going, oh, okay, well, I have my pepper spray, so let me just go down this dark alley because it's a shortcut. Like, that's probably not the wisest choice. So make sure that you are thinking about those things, and no matter what you choose, make sure you do the research. And some people aren't even comfortable with carrying pepper spray or mace or a taser. And if you are not, then maybe you want to do something like a self-defense class, because those are something that no one can ever take away, you know, having self-defense techniques and self-defense tricks and tips. If you've taken a self-defense class like 10 years ago, then it may be time for you to revisit a class or with someone else and get some new tools under your belt so that you can use those if ever you need to. I'm hoping, again, that you never do, but again, people are crazy, and I would rather be aware and ready than be a victim of their craziness. Does that make sense? If you are going to choose something like pepper spray, make sure, or whatever, if you are going to choose a self-defense, an actual tool, make sure that you're aware of what your state or your local restrictions are. Some places don't allow pepper spray. Some places you can only have like a certain amount of oleoresin capsaicin in like the actual formula, or you can only carry like 2 ounces or 3 ounces or whatever the case is. You can't carry like a big boatload. I chose pepper spray because it's relatively inexpensive. You can get a little canister for under $10. It's discreet. Mine's is pink, so it's not that discreet, but if you wanted to carry concealed, then you could. And it's, easy to use and quick, and I didn't need to like take like a whole seminar. Just a little side note, I do want to take Krav Maga, actually, because I think that would be really great self-defense. Because I think that I could learn some really great self-defense techniques. I just have not done that yet. But yeah, I really didn't want to start up a huge debate. I don't want people like saying like, oh no, guns are bad, pepper spray's bad, or whatever is bad. Like, I just wanted to let you guys know what I was using, and then encourage everybody to adopt some sort of self-defense technique, whether it's carrying something or just taking classes. Even if you can just adopt the fact that you are going to be more aware of your surroundings, like, I think that that is a huge, huge step forward. So my hope really is to just be as helpful as I can. That's sort of my goal just in life in general, but all I can really talk about is the pepper spray that I carry. I don't know anything about tasers, don't know anything about carrying firearms or concealed weapons, or what states allow concealed weapons, or what have you. I do hope that awareness is raised on YouTube. There's such a large community of us who are female, and this isn't really something that we always talk about. When I looked up videos on YouTube about like pepper spray or weapons or concealed or whatever, a lot of them, there were some that came up, but a lot of those women were like, that was like their specific genre, was talking about weaponry and self-defense. But it would be awesome if there was like a beauty vlogger out there or a fashion vlogger out there who talked about mace, or who talked about a taser, or somebody who talked about, firearms, or what we're thinking about those things. I'm not here to be political. I'm not here to debate with anybody. All I really want to do is just raise awareness, and how can we as women be more safe. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. And if you believe that, pepper spray is bad or guns are bad, well, that's great. I'm hoping that you're just adopting some other techniques that you are able to use. And if you think that, guns are awesome and pepper spray is awesome, then that's awesome too. Just make sure that you are educated about the tools that you're carrying. Does that make any sense? I don't want anybody going out there saying, Tracy said to go buy pepper spray or go buy a gun, because that's certainly not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is adopt self-defense techniques that will work for you. If you are in college, a lot of times you have to walk to your dorm or class even at night. There are public safety officers that will escort you. Know what's available to you wherever you are, if you're on a college campus, or if you are going into a work building, if there's security guards where you are. Just know what's available to you if you don't want to physically have something on your person. If you are ever in a place where you're feeling unsafe, make sure that you're using your intuition. If that means that you need to get out, like, you have the 100% right to walk out of the door or to get out of a situation that you are not feeling safe in. So make sure that you're trusting yourself in that area, because sometimes our intuition can really be a gift to us in certain situations. So that's it, guys. I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.